Hey, remember the whole reason I removed the radiator in the first place was so that I can get this bracket in here? I get to take it all apart again and do it all over. Yay. I put the alternator bracket in backwards. Gosh, man, sometimes I swear I'm so smart. What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Jesse Does It. Today we are going to do a water pump on my wife's Mustang. Think after that I'm gonna have her try to install some valve covers. We'll see how that goes. But let's take a look here. I've already replaced the upper and lower hose as well as the intermediate hose here in the middle, and it's still dripping out the bottom, so that tells me one thing. That means my water pump is leaking. So I'm going to change the water pump, the thermostat housing, and the thermostat gaskets to both, and get that done. Also, it's going to clean up this kind of ugly looking spray painted water pump there. So we're going to do that. Then we're going to change out these ugly, rusty, crusty valve covers. And if Amazon shows up in time, the new air cleaner will be here as well. So let's go ahead and get started on that and tune in as we do it. So the first step's going to be draining the radiator. There is a drain plug on this thing. So we'll go ahead and unscrew that. Yeah. There we go. Once that's finished draining, I will start taking everything off. Right now I'll go ahead and disassemble the upper hoses, since that's not going to leak out like this, like the bottom hoses will. So let this drain, unhook the top hoses, and start doing the alternator and other stuff. All right, so we've got the hoses all disconnected. We will do the alternator bracket. So alternator has 2 bolts and then this bracket, and then get started on the water pump. Since we are going to remove the alternator completely from the bracket, I'm going to go ahead and disconnect the battery. Yeah. Right there, battery disconnected. And finish taking the alternator bracket out. I told my wife for Father's Day I want a cordless ratcheting wrench, so hopefully that gets here, because that would be really nice for today's project. All right, alternator should come free now. And we're just going to lay that down there on the bottom out of the way. And it looks like we have 1, 2, 3 bolts, which, I'll be honest, this one right here, I don't know how we're going to get that out without taking this pulley off. So I might do a YouTube search and see if that has to come off. Pretty sure it does though. Be right back. Actually, I'm an idiot. That pulley is attached to the water pump, so it definitely has to come off so that we can reuse it on the new water pump. So I guess I'll go ahead and get started on that now. All right, radiator's out. So much more room for activities. Might as well clean this up and paint it too while it's out. All right, so now we've got the 3 alternator bracket bolts, then the water pump bolts, thermostat housing bolts, and we're on a move here. What I like to do is, as I pull bolts out, I want to put them back where they go. So these radiator bolts, and put them back where they go. It's just nice to not have to worry about which bolt went where when it's time to put everything back together. Alternator bracket out of the way. Lower hose still needs to come off. All right, so with everything out of the way, it's now time for the water pump. So we're going to remove all these outside bolts, go all the way around it, take this off, take the thermostat housing off, put the thermostat housing with a new thermostat in, and then do the water pump, and then reverse process. I might clean it up a little bit while I'm in here, kind of make things a little bit nicer looking. I kind of don't mind the ratty look, but definitely wouldn't mind cleaning up some of the frame and stuff too while I'm in here. So here we go. Yeah, she was crusty and definitely was leaking, so glad we did this. Now it's time for the thermostat. It's got one bolt that's in this really stupid spot. The timing cover is kind of blocking it, so I'm gonna have to use an open-end wrench and take our sweet time, because this is gonna take forever. That's stupid. It's like, really, you couldn't just like make the timing cover just a little bit shorter so that you don't have to fight to get this one bolt out? Well, you get the idea. We'll fast forward from here. All right, so the thermostat housing's out, thermostat's out. You take gaskets and scrapers and fun stuff and get all this crap out, clean it up real good, and then start putting it back together. Normally I would take this time to flush out the engine, but I already did that when I did the hoses, so the coolant and stuff is in good shape. I don't need to flush out the engine block or anything anymore because I've already done that. But if you didn't, now would be a great time to do all that. All right, so I got all that I can with the scraper off. I'm gonna take the abrasive wheel, clean it up real good, do some with some brake cleaner, then maybe some with some paint. Time to put it back together. All right, we've got everything all cleaned up and restored. Yeah, so looking good in here. I don't normally do this, but I'm gonna put a little pookie on the surface area of these with these older engines, you don't know how flat they are and if there's any divots or anything that you can't see. So I'm going to add some extra insurance and then get that all installed. So here we go. Make sure your thermostat goes in the correct way, which would be the spring side towards the engine, because once that heats up, that's what causes this to open, then allowing the coolant to flow through the radiator. Get this bolt in here. Now, you don't want these too tight. I would say about 2 ugga-duggas. I'm sure there's a torque spec, but I am not the biggest torque spec guy. But hey, it hasn't bit me in the ass so far. When I do a cam and heads on this, I will definitely be using torque spec. But with how many water pumps and thermostats I've installed in my life, I kind of can just go by feel. All right, we are good on the thermostat. Now for the water pump. Same thing, I'm going to clean it up, make sure it's dry. Add a little bit of Permatex all the way around, especially the water hole jackets there. And just putting a thin line, nothing crazy. Now the water pump came with a gasket, but I bought a Felpro. I'm a big fan of Felpro gaskets. We're gonna use that on this one and pray for the best. Except I don't think this is, there we go. There we go. No, this ain't right. Do I have it backwards? Well, I guess I'm not using Felpro's gasket. That sucks. Take back everything I just said. We're using the gasket that came with the water pump. Yay. You're next. You're doing the valve covers. It is hot outside, baby. See what Daddy's doing? Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah, looks pretty good under there.
Looks pretty good under there after I spray painted all the rust. I am not snugging these down with the impact. I am just getting them started, basically. All right, now I'm going to tighten them by hand. And we're going to go kind of in a cross pattern, just snugging them down. And this would be, again, around 2 ugga-duggas. Don't ever do what I tell you to do. Look it up for yourself. This is just entertainment, just to watch. Which, by the way, if you're watching this, I hope you like what you're seeing. Give me a like, give me a follow, leave me a comment, all the good stuff. Share it if you want, that's cool too, I freaking love it. Like I said, guys, I'm trying to do this whole YouTube thing, which is hard, man. I'd much rather be jamming out to some music right now, having fun in my head, just enjoying this, you know? But instead, I'm constantly thinking, well, I gotta talk to the camera. I gotta say this, I gotta act happy. I'm not the most happy guy on earth. This is pretty tough, but you know what? What else am I gonna be doing on a Saturday morning? It's beautiful outside. I got the wife's Mustang to work on. Why not film it? Maybe some people will enjoy it, maybe not. We'll see what happens. Until then, I'm just gonna keep trucking along and having fun doing what I'm doing. So, I appreciate all you guys. Alrighty, so I've painted some stuff, I've cleaned some stuff up. It's all dried. Let's go ahead and put everything back together. Man, that cordless ratcheting wrench would be really nice right about now. All right, so I think next we will do alternator bracket, alternator, belt, hoses, and fill it up with water. Go from there. Hey, remember the whole reason I removed the radiator in the first place was so that I can get this bracket in here? Let me show you what I'm doing. This is stupid. There's a bolt that goes right here, and I can't put that bolt in with the pulley there. So guess what? I get to take it all apart again and do it all over. Yay. All right, alternator bracket first before the fan. Now the fan can go back in. I put the alternator bracket in backwards. Yay. And this is the correct way the alternator bracket goes. Gosh, man, sometimes I swear I'm so smart. Lower radiator hose, and I think it's time to fill it up. All right, so let's fire it up and get these air bubbles out. Ooh, actually, let's fix that first. Be right back. Fired right up, as always. Belt seems to be on there good. Fan's not rubbing on anything. So we are going to monitor the coolant level, wait for the thermostat to open, bleed the system, and then go take it for a test drive. All right, so we got the radiator all filled up. Look how clean this looks now. I did already check for leaks. I'm not seeing any at this point in time. So this definitely cleaned up the engine bay a lot. We're going to do the valve covers and air cleaner later today, and I'll film that as well. Take it for a test drive right now, bring it back, make sure the fluid's topped off and no more leaks. So let's go for a ride. So as you can see, the temp gauge is already at temperature. We're going to keep an eye on that, make sure it doesn't rise. I do expect it will have a bubble or two in there, so let's go take it on a decent little test drive, make sure we don't overheat, come back, let it cool off, then we'll double check the fluid level and fill it up, top it off from there. So let's go for a ride and see how it does. So she's riding good, driving good, temps good. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, I am Jesse with Jesse Does It. Till the next project.